Welcome to Bill Mason Show. Hey, Bill. Hey, what's going on?
I'm doing good. Welcome to the stick a fork in Joe Biden party because he's just about done.
Oh, he is done. I mean, oh my gosh, we have some amazing videos of showing the kind of the decline of Joe Biden.
It's it's so drastic too when you show the older stuff when he was just savvy, he just went from a great speaker. I mean, he was a bullshit artist from the get-go, but I mean, he was great at it. And now he's like, it's got nothing. There's just nothing in the tank.
There's nothing in the tank. So we're going to show a video right now of from 2008 to today. And you tell me what's going on with him. Let's see this.
In there, whether or not the economic and foreign policy of this administration has made them better off in the last 8 years. And in addition to that, we have to make sure that we are in a position that we can insure every single solitary kid. We can provide catastrophic health insurance right off the bat. We can do that for the cost of just one thing, the tax cut for people in the top 1%. And with I don't know. You got to give them to the people who are going to spend the money. You got to deal with making sure American companies can be competitive, have a health care plan that doesn't put them at a disadvantage when they compete overseas. There's during World War II, where Roosevelt came up with a thing that was totally different than he called it
Oh man.
Oh, poor Joe.
I think the saddest part is that there are people around him that are letting this keep going because it's almost like you push a snowball over the hill and you're like, well, it's got to hit the bottom now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he is such a different, his level, he can't even stay on point for probably 30 or 40 seconds.
Well, you saw his hand, right? His hand was saying, move up, move up. He had a teleprompter, and they're in a news conference.
Yeah, and he is apparently now this might be speculation, but they said he always has something in his ear, people feeding him stuff to say, but he's still not getting it on time. He's still stuttering, and it's like they're trying to help him. I mean, otherwise, I don't think he would really be able to. I mean, when he debates Trump, I would say it's official with the fork. He will be done. Like I say he's done now, but I think the debate is the final.
I don't think they're going to do a debate. There's no way.
He said today that they're going to hold to the schedule, which that's Trump's problem. Is that I think it's September 20th, and he said that there's like 13 states that have early voting that people can have their ballots in already by that time. And that's what Trump's pissed about. He wants a debate, I think, at the end of August. He wants to make it a big Labor Day type extravaganza. Of course, it's Trump, which, it would be great because then at least we would have a couple of months to laugh about Biden's, finishing.
Right, exactly. So let's take a look at this other video. It really shows. Let's take a look.
All right.
Mr. Vice President, your opponent in this election, President Trump, has made your mental state a campaign topic. And when asked in June if you'd been tested for cognitive decline, you've responded that you're constantly tested in effect because you're in situations like this on the campaign trail. But please clarify specifically, have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say to President Trump, who brags about his test and makes your mental state an issue for voters?
Well, if he can't figure out the difference between an elephant and a lion, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Did you watch that? Look, come on, man. I know you're trying to goad me, but I mean, I'm so forward looking to have an opportunity to sit with the president or stand with the president in debates. There's going to be plenty of time. And by the way, as I joke with him, I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness, and to make a judgment about who I am.
There we go. That was yesterday.
Yeah, that did not age well. And I think what he was hearing in his earpiece, they were going, "Stop, Joe! Stop! Stop!" And he was like, "I shouldn't say that."
Right. Yeah, he was going to say something real bad.
They were like, "Joe, pump the brakes."
Well, he did say something bad the other day, yesterday too, as well. I mean, take a look. I mean, he just lost the Black American vote. This is one comment.
Yeah, he pretty much blew it. I think he lost the Latino vote too, because he compared the two of them, and he just really should probably just, I don't know. I should stop talking.
I mean, politicians just say everybody's American. Just forget about this race thing.
Well, I think the Democrats really need the racial line, because without it, they have nothing.
They don't.
Yeah, they need to divide people.
Right. Let's take a look and see what he said.
What you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things.
Here he is. So Hispanic is more diverse than African Americans?
Yeah, I mean, he talks in circles, man. It's really difficult when you want to give him a chance. Like, there are people out there that are Democratic, voters, and they have been all their lives, and they're like, "I'm a Democrat, dyed in the wool." And I'm like, okay, I get that. And then they watch him, and I laugh, because some people are now telling me I can't find a redeeming quality in him. Everything he says, it's cringe. Like, they're like, "Oh my God, what did he just say?" So he's a train wreck of a candidate. And it seems like the DNC happens to have a hard time picking a winner. I mean, if they put all their eggs in the Hillary basket, and now they're putting all their eggs in the Biden basket, and man, they're just going to be 0 for 2. That's my prediction. There's no way this guy's winning.
No, I don't think so either. So let's take a look at Trump, what he said about Biden today. Or yesterday, that is.
Double and triple your taxes. He's going to do things that nobody ever would ever think even possible, because he's following the radical left agenda. Take away your guns, destroy your Second Amendment, no religion, no anything, hurt the Bible, hurt God. He's against God, he's against guns, he's against energy, our kind of energy. I don't think he's going to do too well in Ohio. If he did, would have a big story. He's not going to do well. And I was in Texas the other day. I said, wait a minute. The other side is against guns. They're against oil and gas. They're against religion, Bible, God. How's he going to win Texas? How's he going to win Texas? So he's not going to win Texas. He's not going to win Ohio. Bob told me we're better now in Ohio than we were 4 years ago. I'll take the same victory, but I think we're better. So I just...
All right, there we go. So no religion. It's true. I mean, the Democrats, no religion. Now, I will tell you this, though. African Americans are very religious. Most of them. Most of them.
They have the highest church attendance among all other races, actually.
And they should be Republicans. They shouldn't be Democrats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of wake-ups out there. I'm not going to say that they're counting on the black vote, but there's so many people in the Brexit movement that are like, I can't do it anymore. I can't vote Democrat because they don't support my views. They don't support anything, and I've been voting that way all my life, and I've got nothing for it. So honestly, the people that are on the fence are watching Joe Biden's decline, and it's really making their decision for them. I mean, honestly, they kept Joe in the basement throughout the pandemic, And now that it's going to be put up or shut up, because now November's closing in, man. I think we're like, we're less than 80 days or something from the election at this point. He can't be hiding in the basement. They're going to want to hear from him. And every time he talks, another nail in the coffin, as far as I'm concerned. If I'm a thinking Democrat, like I could never truly think like a Democrat, but if I was a thinking Democrat, I would say there's no way in hell that guy gets my vote.
No, I agree. I mean, again, 90% of Americans, Democrats, are religious, but despite 70% of white Democrats are non-religious.
Right. That's where you get the atheists and the Antifa types.
Right.
And it's funny, they took the video down, actually, but there was a video of a gentleman. You might be able to find, some people can find it. I couldn't get it, but there's a gentleman walking with an American flag. He's apparently a retired U.S. Marine, through the Antifa people.
Right.
So one of the Antifa people rips the American flag off of his flagpole and stomps on it. And all of a sudden, this one Marine is getting like swarmed by all these other Antifa, like, 19-year-olds or whatever. And all of a sudden, this black girl pulls him aside and goes, "I just want you to know this is a Black Lives Matter movement, and that was a white guy that did that. I don't support ripping your flag." And then these two other black guys replaced the Marines' flag. They were like, "We're sorry about that." So here's the thing. The Antifa people are hijacking the Black Lives Matter movement. Right. And that's another thing. Now black people are awakening to the fact that the Antifa people have hijacked their movement and turned it into a stupid, violent, right. Firework fest everywhere they go. Right. So it's just another thing where they really didn't think this through. That if black people really want to make a difference, they need to think about who and where they put their vote in the past and how it ended up. And I think this is finally something that makes a huge difference in their life, whether Trump gets a chance to rebuild this economy. Because honestly, the only chink in his armor is the coronavirus shutdown. Right. If you look at him on paper, the unemployment numbers and the GDP drop are tremendous. But it was a shutdown of an entire functioning economy. Like, you literally turn the keys off. Right. So, I don't think any other president has ever faced that. And that's definitely a leftist movement. More and more information is coming forward now that it was definitely something that the left pushed for. The shutdown was a knee-jerk reaction. As you start to see how other countries handled it, there is something to be said for early action by Trump shutting down the travel. But what happened was he got so much flack that these people that really wanted to come from China would go to the Philippines or Malaysia and catch a flight to Mexico, and from Mexico make it into the United States. So even a month afterwards, before he shut down, we were still getting people bringing us the virus. Right. So the virus was imported. And when he calls it the China virus, everybody gets freaked out. Mm-hmm. But it's a fact. It's an imported virus. It's not something that started here and we screwed everything up and spread it all over the world. Right. It's quite the opposite. So, this is the thing where Joe Biden sits in a basement and tweets out that Trump mishandled everything. But this is an imported Chinese virus that I believe personally was weaponized. But, here we are dealing with it as a country. And there are things that we are finding out now that should have been implemented, but the people like Fauci, we're against. And one of them, I'm going to say, is HCQ. I'm just going to use the letters. HCQ, there was a place for it. That it had a place. It's not a cure-all, but it had a place, and it wasn't used, and it's still to this day being slowed down, curved, or slapped down and not being used, and it is helpful. So anyway.
They give it to everybody. Everybody take it. It doesn't hurt you. Right. And then it just stops the virus before it materializes.
Right. It cannot make copies of itself. From what I looked into, what it does is it cannot make copies of itself in your soft lung tissue. And that is number one important in the early stages of it. If you can get it early, like you can test positive and have no symptoms, take one a week, 200 milligram a week, and boom, symptom-free, beating it.
Well, let's take a look. Now, we talk about Trump just said about no religion. We
Yes.
have Marianne Williamson on a hot mic. She didn't know she was saying this.
Yep.
And she talks about religion and how the left is so hateful, which we
Yeah,
already know.
Yeah.
So let's take a look and see what she said.
That Fox News is nicer to me than the lefties are.
I'm sorry?
What does it say? That the conservatives are nicer to me?
It's a bizarre world, man.
It's such a bizarre world. You know, I'm such a lefty. I mean, I'm a serious lefty. But I understand why people on the right call them godless. I mean, it's like, I didn't think the left was as mean as the right. They are.
Well, I'm just ready.
She's telling the truth there.
Yeah, and honestly, these hot mics. I know Project Veritas. I always toot their horn. Everybody go to their website and check their stuff out. He's got more hot mic stuff coming out. He basically tweeted that but wait, there's more. So this kind of stuff where these people in the news media industry are like, holy crap, these guys are full of S. Like the left, they're talking about the left. Like these Democrats get up here and just put on the makeup and bold-faced lie. Right. And that's the kind of stuff that they're doing, and they know it, and they can't stand it because their journalism is being tarnished by having to support these people that are bold-faced lying. So the people that are actual journalists are like, I can't believe I'm doing this. It hurts my soul.
Well, I mean, we already know the left is evil and they're very vicious, and they're even hurt their own people, like you said with Marianne Williamson. So
Yep.
she was a candidate for the Democratic Party at one time.
Yep.
So anyway, so let's go on. So who's helping Trump? Who's helping Biden? So looks like Russia, the intelligence agency said they're going to try to help Trump, and then China is going to try to help Biden.
Well, honestly, this is all right. So the spooks, right? Okay, so the spooks want. I see that, Judge.
Let's go back there. There we go.
Okay, there it is.
Oh, there we go. We have an ad right here. I can't get rid of. But anyway, so it says spooks. Russia wants Trump. China wants Biden.
Right.
On the Drudge Report.
I think we could figure out that China wants Biden. Biden has been probably the softest human on the Chinese that anyone has ever seen. He's looked the other way on the organ harvesting. He's looked the other way on, they actually had, it wasn't until Trump that we started negotiating for their quote unquote political prisoners. Okay. Like they looked the other way for the entire 8 years that him and Obama were in office. And, you know, Hunter walked away with a pretty sweet deal with the government of China. Right. So I can understand why they would want Biden.
Right. Well, the Democratic Party wants all the manufacturing jobs over in China. They have a deal with them. Trump wants all of them to come back here. America first.
Exactly. And here's the thing about Russia. Like, this may be just my opinion, but Russia needs a strong economy for their economy to work. They are in the petroleum industry almost like, I'd say 90% of what they do. Right. So when economies get strong, you use a lot of petroleum. So there's two ways to make money in the petroleum industry. One is just raise the price to the point where, okay, people need it for their everyday life, and they're going to slow down all the other industries. So it's proven fact that when the prices are up $3 and $4, the airline industry is affected because they raise prices. People travel less, as far as like tourism and stuff like that go. So you're getting the profit, but it's because you spike the price. But a highly functioning economy makes everybody start to move and spend and vacation and honestly recirculate money. And that's when people are using petroleum products. And also, I didn't even know this, Russia is huge in the asphalt production. So like building roads and infrastructure and stuff like that is very important to them, even though they don't do it, not so much on the I would say what would that be, the west coast of Russia, because that's like barren wasteland they really don't care about. But as far as their main thing, it's petroleum based. They need Trump because Trump is going to make a kick-ass economy, and when we do good, other people start to do good.
Right. We want the whole world to do good. We just want America to do it. We want American first, though.
If it starts here, that's the thing. It is a trickle down, because when you have successful Americans and people that are making not just ends meet, they're making enough to meet their needs monthly, and now they're vacationing in Mexico, in Costa Rica, in Spain, okay, in France. Like, they're moving their money.
In St. Petersburg.
That's exactly. So what I'm saying is that when you have this, we move our money, and now they have access to our money. Okay, so it helps them. It is the trickle-down economics theory, and I know a lot of economists are going to be like, that's not true, but it is. I've watched it on smaller levels work. When you have a rich guy that owns a house and he hires, a bunch of people to do the work on his house, everybody starts to make more money off this rich guy. So, and this is just the thing. Of course Russia wants Trump, because Biden is the guy who's going to let either Bernie and the crew and AOC hijack his campaign and become the next leftist Green New Deal, $80 billion to demolish buildings and rebuild them with, plastic or whatever their plan is. But I mean, there is no way for all the countries to do good under a Biden, but Trump gives everybody fire.
Exactly. So, I mean, we're going to show Trump about China. Of course, again, China wants to help Biden. Supposedly Russia is going to help Trump. But take a look at this.
The Obama-Biden administration was laughed at. They were a joke, and they were perfectly happy to let China win. Your jobs disappear and your factory to close. And you know what it was like. I came through today and everybody was out there, tremendous crowds, waving and cheering. I said, I must have done it right, because you had people that were really something. Because 4 or 5 years ago, this place was a disaster. In 20...
There we go. So again, he was there touting the American first to bring all the jobs back. So again, no wonder China does not want Trump to win.
Exactly, and he knows that when he came in, I mean, everybody was saying whether he was going to be able to hold all his campaign promises, and they'll build the wall, that's BS, and oh yeah, he's going to renegotiate all these trade deals. He's done that. Honestly, he has literally thrown out some of the worst trade deals that this country has ever seen, that basically made it so American companies could not compete, and they had to go overseas for labor, production, and raw materials. Now he's making it competitive, and the magic wand that Obama talked about is in his hand. Right. So this is the thing. Once the country gets back up and running, I think we have way more of a chance with Trump to see progress and prosperous than stuttering Biden. That's just my take.
Well, I agree. So hopefully that does not happen. So we will wait and see. Now we're going to go into another subject, by the way. If everybody knows, there was a big explosion, a massive explosion in Beirut a few days ago.
Yeah, we did an episode on it. If anybody wants to check it out, we have lots of footage from that one too.
Yeah, we have the explosion at every angle, by the way. Yeah. But we had some more explosion angles too. So
they're coming out now.
Yeah, we had to show this to you. This is unreal. Let me play this real quick. Right. This is an explosion in a church. It looks like something out of The Omen or something. Take a look.
Wow,
that was crazy. I mean, that's going to be in a movie somewhere down the road.
I mean, we were talking before. I didn't know that they had, multi-denominational, churches in Lebanon, but apparently they're allowed to have Christian churches.
Yes, yeah, they have many different religions in Lebanon.
Okay.
So, which is really cool. And then we have another explosion, which it looks very bad. Just think if you're at a shop and you're looking out the window and something like this happens. Take a look.
Yeah.
Or they got to go to the window to see what's going on. Take a look at this.
This poor girl's probably covered in glass, man. Oh,
I hope she made it.
man.
Unbelievable. So, huge explosion. So, and then we have, this is to be good for a Hyundai commercial. This is a Hyundai that was in the explosion. Take a look.
طب بشرفكن في أقوى من الشعب اللبناني؟ ليكوا كيف سايق السيارة مدمرة ما في مين يخبر قد ايه قوي.
Still driving. So
there was a movie way back. It's called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
right.
And there's a scene where John Candy is driving a car like that on the highway, and it's hilarious. And that's all I could think of when I was watching that.
Well, Hyundai, if you want to have a commercial, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Still runs after a 2-ton blast.
Yeah, let's play a blast one. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Let's play one blast one. We had so many we showed on another show.
Yeah, but honestly, there's more coming out now. People are, getting out of the hospital and going, hey, maybe I should upload that. Incredible, man.
It was incredible. Now, it looks like news reports just out not too long ago, about an hour ago, a port authority said fireworks was stored in the facility next to the ammonium nitrate.
It's crazy, man.
We showed it. We showed the video of the fireworks going off.
Yeah.
Last the show for the bombing, and we showed it blown off several different. So anybody wants to look at that, we showed the fireworks first, and then we showed the explosion.
I honestly couldn't believe it, but somebody screwed up. The guy who owns those docks or runs those docks, when he was like, where do I put the fireworks warehouse? Ooh, next to the ammonium nitrate. That's right.
Oh boy.
Up.
I mean, it you have to laugh instead of cry. I mean, there was a lot of people dead. There's 300,000 people displaced. Unbelievable, but you don't put fireworks by that.
I'm going to go with Occam's razor, and the simplest answer is usually the correct one, and that was an inside job of some sort. That no one makes that screw up without it being on purpose. You cannot be that dumb.
Well, I mean, somebody could have lit the fireworks.
But you still, I don't put oily rags on top of my gas grill,
Right. Well, they might have forgot. Hey, because that was, that ammonium nitrate was back in 2013 that they came.
Yeah, there was actually a ship, from what I heard,
from
that
Ukraine.
Yeah.
For some reason, all revolves around Ukraine all the time. For some reason.
Yep. Ukraine and Cyprus. So what people don't know, right across from Lebanon is Cyprus. Now, Cyprus is basically an island that's designed for money laundering. Okay, Cyprus is where all the money laundering in, basically all the worst parts of the world happen. And they have registered ships there that are up to no good. You register your business there if you're up to no good. I mean, it's got a really bad reputation. So, these Ukrainians pretty much use Cyprus as a jump-off point for all their illegal operations as well. So it doesn't surprise me that it was somehow tied to that, and they basically just left it in the harbor full of ammonium nitrate.
That's correct. So, oh boy. So anyway, so that's the show tonight. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Bill, do you have any last words?
Biden is done. Stick a fork in him.
Yes, the fork, and you're gonna stick it in him, and it's gonna be very tender.
That's it. He's been cooking for a long time, but I think he's done.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and you have a good night.
Good night, everyone.